So I'm just streaming right now. This will be a really quick stream, right? So this is just gonna be a super quick stream. So the reason why I wanted to just stream for a little bit is so that I could kind of try to make some sense of the thing that Justo. So we had a discussion earlier in the previous stream. We just had a discussion about trying to apply this as a functor and as an applicative, and then we kind of just stopped there because I my brain was just falling apart and when it hit the applicative part. So which is why I couldn't go to monads. But anyway, essentially the thing is, he was just trying to prove that functors or applicatives and monads aren't really like it is just its own thing because it is a set of laws which I now agree with. It makes so much sense now. You can't really pin them down into a definition. It's very hard. All you can do is just define those laws and then see exactly in which situations these laws are applicable. So it can be used for very different purposes or whatever. So I kind of see that now because it broke my brain. But yeah, so essentially this example was something like this, where we have this over here. So I don't know if that is clear enough, but I'll just make it bigger, I guess. So this is an arrow over here, and then T, and then A. So, or well, this is like the prefix uh, thing, but it's basically something like this. So T and A. So this is a common type signature. I've been using this everywhere. Lots of people use this. It's like a super common thing that people see. So it essentially means that T gets evaluated into A, and that's pretty much it. And this is just like the I would I guess prefix version of that, right? So what he wanted me to do was to kind of find a way to do this and in functors and applicatives. Yeah. So the part that I was stumped in, so I'll just put this here. The part that I was just so completely stumped in was trying to do this and trying to implement something for this. So the apply. And I was just so confused because the definition of this for apply is something like this. So he gave me a hint. I mean, he gave me the answer, but I had no idea. Like it didn't really click for me um, a few hours ago. So it was something like this. Live at 1 a.m. Yeah, I was so bothered by this that I couldn't stop thinking about it. So this will be like super fast, maybe 10 minutes or something. Yeah. So it's something like this. So we're going to partially apply this because the definition of the type signature for me to use apply is something like this. So it's F A gets evaluated into B, and then F A F B. So something like this. In this case, F is going to be we're going to partially apply this. So F is going to be this over here. So F. And this is going to be A. So we can substitute this, I guess, to make things clearer. We can do something like this. So T, and we have A to B, and something like this. So T and A, and then whoops. and T and B. So something like this. So this is how the type signature would look like. And I had no idea what kind of function would use something like this or how to implement it. But apparently it's well, sort of simple. And well, it looks simple, but I just don't really know how to explain it properly. So that means I don't understand it enough. So it's something like this. So for this to actually work, I would need something like this. So something more concrete would be for this. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, yeah, okay. So t here is the function parameter, and a is going to be the return value or anything that gets returned. And because it is done in this way, where it's going to return a function that takes one argument and then returns a value, that means we can already assume that this is going to be a function that takes two arguments because of t over here. So this is the first argument, then second argument. So it'll be something like int, and then int for something more concrete. So yeah, but because this one gets partially applied, that means we can only take this part or make use of this part really. So I guess it would be something like this. That means we have to partially apply it. So we have to do something like this, where x is the thing that we partially applied it to, and f is the thing. So something like, so both of these are going to be functions. It has to be functions. So f of x, this would mean that it is partially applied, this over here, and then we have this. So this f of x returns a function that takes one argument and returns something. And so this part, okay, this part makes sense now. So this part makes sense. Now this is the part, well, both of them broke my brain, but so for the next part over here, this is essentially int to int, because we have a parameter, function parameter over here, and then a return value. So because we can only use a over here and not this, because this is partially applied, that means we can only use this part. So this means that the argument of this has to be partially applied, because there's no other way for this to work. So that means we have to do something like this. So g of x. So now this is complete, because now f partially applies a parameter over here, and then we have this over here, because this function now returns a function that takes an argument and returns something, so that's g of x. So it kind of just fits. So this entire thing over here. So this makes sense now. This makes complete sense to me. An example of this would be something like this. So plus, sorry, I'm just rambling right now, just in case I forget tomorrow when I wake up. So an example would be this over here, where we have a well, the add function, and then applies this over here, and because this essentially has to be a function that only takes one argument and then returns a value, so that means we have to partially apply. In this example is going to be this. So we partially apply 10 to the add function. So this will result in a function that, well, we have to provide a value, right? So something like this. Let's take this for a spin. So wait, holy cow. So something like this, where we have 10. Let's say we're going to plug in 3, because it's expecting me to provide a value. Because the result of this would be a function that expects one parameter, right? So we have this over here, and then x. So this is x is the value that we're going to provide, and we have I'm not gonna write the thing here, but something like God, I'm so sleepy. But I have to get this out of my brain first. uh, so something like this, right? So this is going to be the function over here. We're going to apply, let's say 3. We're going to give it 3. So we're going to substitute the x over here with 3, because that's the value that we're trying to do. So if we do something like this, we'll do plus 3. And then the second argument of this function. So the first is 3. The first argument of this plus actually can just be written like this. So 3 plus, and then whatever this is. So something like this. So 3 plus 10 or something. Yeah, it's pretty much like that. So this. So I'll just do h. Let's just say h is, okay, yeah, you know what, screw this, never mind. So something like this. Holy cow, I'm so sleepy. So yeah, that's why now 3 plus 10, then plus 3 is going to be 16. And this is the thing that I've been just trying to figure out. And now it just makes sense. So this is what, I guess one of the ways. I don't really know if there's another way for this to obey or to follow this type signature over here, but yeah, this is one of the ways, because then through partial application. So I can finally sleep. Good night, blobs. Good night, buddy. I'm actually so sleepy. Oh god. Okay. Good night. Thanks for hanging out. Even